How do toxic workplaces leave scars that follow us longer after we leave? Hey, it's Alex. Welcome back to This is Fine, a Millennial Diary. And I know I've been away for quite some time now. Sometimes my other stuff gets in the way, but I will continue to push on and bring you new episodes every single week without stopping, at least for the foreseeable future. Today's episode is a heavy one, but it's one many of us have lived. We're talking about toxic workplaces, and not just how they drain us in the moment, but how they follow us even after we leave. Because let's be honest, some of us just didn't leave bad jobs. We carried the damage with us. The hypervigilance, the anxiety, the dread every time a Slack notification popped up. And yeah, for a lot of us, the office really did give us PTSD. For millennials, work trauma wasn't always a screaming boss, though some of us had that too. It was subtle, constant erosion. It was the manager who guilt-tripped you for taking a sick day. It was the unpaid extra hours you were expected to give because, we're all family here. It was the way you felt your stomach sink when your phone buzzed at 11 p.m. with an urgent email. Look, for me, I remember sitting in my car before work, engine running, hands gripping the steering wheel, giving myself a pep talk just to walk into the office. That's not stress. That's trauma. But I do got to tell you, lately, I love my job. So those feelings have completely gone away. But I digress. This isn't about me. You see, it's wild because growing up, we thought work looked fun. TV sold us these quirky offices. Friends showed us coffee breaks more than work. Ally McBeal made chaos look charming. Well, in the office, that became the shorthand for bad bosses. But we laughed it off like it wasn't serious. But when you're living it, it's not a sitcom. It's not quirky. It's heavy. And that moment in Office Space where Peter just stares at his cubicle wall in dead silence? Here's the truth. Toxic workplaces don't just end when you quit. They rewire your brain. You leave the job, but you still flinch when you get a calendar invite. You over-prepare for meetings because you're waiting to be humiliated. You apologize too much in emails because an old boss taught you that you were always too much, or even worse, not enough. That's not culture, by the way. That's manipulation. Millennials absorbed the abuse. We told ourselves that this was normal, that paying dues meant pain, that crying in the bathroom was just part of the job, that burnout meant you were valuable. Gen Z, though, they're not falling for it. They'll walk out mid-shift, they'll call it one of their TikToks, they'll put a bad boss on blast for the world to see. And while older generations roll their eyes and call them entitled, I see something else. They're refusing to carry the scars we still do. They're breaking the cycle before it breaks them. And honestly, that's the courage I think we all wish we had at their age. So how do we heal? First, we name it. We stop calling it just stress and call it what it is: trauma. Healing looks like therapy. It looks like journaling. It looks like giving yourself permission to rest without guilt. It looks like saying no in new jobs when your gut says something's wrong. And if you're in leadership now, healing means creating workplaces where nobody has to cry in their car just to make it through the day. It means never using family as a cover for exploitation. Because healing isn't just individual. It's cultural. So, as I always do, let's answer the question. How do toxic workplaces leave scars? Well, they follow us into new jobs, into our confidence, into our nervous system. They make us doubt ourselves even after we've left. But those scars aren't a weakness. They're proof we survived. And survival well, means we can also heal. If the office gave you PTSD, you're not alone. You didn't imagine it. You didn't exaggerate it. And you don't have to carry it forever. With that being said, next time right here on the Millennial Diary, retirement in this economy? We're going to talk about the millennial nightmare of planning for a future that feels out of reach. Yeah? And what it means when the word retirement feels more like fantasy than reality. So, do me a big favor, subscribe, share this with someone who's still recovering from their old job, and please head over to alexiscardoza.com for YouTube and all of the socials, because your worth isn't defined by your workplace. And this is fine.
Goodbye.